We have to break Nigeria into 6 regions, Balarabe Musa said. Former Governor Kadla Balarabe Musa has initiated the country's restructuring and return to regional government as a penalty for the multifaceted problems facing Nigeria. In this interview with Vincent Carlo, a public official of flying firefighters called on Nigerians to rise up before a revolution that would eliminate the All Progressive Congress (APC) and the main opposition of the Popular Democratic Party (PDP), that the nation depth of backwardness. What is your opinion on the current state of the nation? It is very negative, very dangerous, and could lead to anything tomorrow. How do you think the problem of insecurity can be addressed, especially in the north? Uncertainty can be observed throughout the country, but it is more worrying for the north. Unfortunately, the country's president is from the north. The uncertainty comes from other aspects of the nation's negative state. For example, the levels of poverty, unemployment, corruption, theft, and waste of resources that apply throughout the country, especially in the north. The president and his party are clearly incompetent, and the country's governors, especially, except very few, who are ignorant or seriously irresponsible. Both the APC and the PDP and their governors insist on the continuation of power, and this must be stopped since the continuation of the two parties leads to a war situation. Despite the uncertainty in the north, the governor of Kano, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, has asked the federal government to stop the migration of shepherds from other countries to Nigeria. What do you think about this? Shepherds are not the source of the problem in the country. The source of the problem is the incompetence of the federal government and the negligence of state governors. How can shepherds or those who transport them to Nigeria come freely without the indifference of the federal and state governments, especially the federal government? He said that APC and PDP should not be allowed to continue. How can this be done? Either another credible and patriotic party dealing with the future of Nigerians and Nigerians, or a coalition of powerful, united, and credible parties must come to power. This situation is a capable political party or a coalition of several credible parties. When that happens, you realize that APC and PDP politicians are joining the new party you have been talking about and may be kidnapping. We make sure this does not happen because we know there is a danger. Party leaders must be held accountable. In 2002, several political parties came together and formed the Nigerian Political Parties Conference (CNPP) when we realized that President Obasanjo and his party, the PDP, had planned a party system but agreed and left because of the problem from north, thinking of a bipartisan system in which one controls the government and the other is the cooperating opposition. We saw his plan, and when INEC called a consultation meeting for all political parties, the Electoral Board refused to listen to presentations from all other political parties, and we concluded that INEC and the federal government were planning a party system. But the nature of Nigerian nationalism did require a bipartisan system, but we fought against it by creating the CNPP with the support of one of the party's leaders, the late Gani Fawemimi. He led the movement towards a multi-party system in the country instead of a one-party system or a bipartisan system, and we succeeded through the CNPP. However, when monetary policy took further measures, undermining the state of the nation, the unifying political parties which fought for a multi-party system began to become disorganized. Instead of fighting for freedom, they fought for money, and the CNPP weakened. And as a result, INEC and the government formed the so-called Interregional Interparty Advisory Council (IPAC), which was unsuccessful because it did not do what they wanted to do, which undermined political parties. The solution is to return and strengthen the CNPP under the leadership of one of the most credible party presidents. If we understand this, the political parties under credible leadership will unite and defend the interests of the country and create a better nation state. It is even better if the social reconstruction of Nigeria is justified, starting with the economic role of the state to guarantee peace, equality, justice for the majority of the people, and the development of the country and even the development of Nigeria. The CNPP is not dead but weakened. I am still its national president. The power of money weakened him. It still exists, including credible party leaders. There are, for example, Adeniran, there are Sasado and others who are reliable and can replace Gani Fayomimi, and in others they achieve the relevance of the CNPP to achieve better status. Nation, if, for example, Adeniran, who has political experience, and Sasado, who also has political experience, come together to study the purpose of the CNPP and revive it, we will find a way to peacefully get rid of the nonsense of the APC and PDP. We are talking about a peaceful revolution, by no means a revolution. We hope that it will not take advantage of this, but at the moment when the revolution takes place in a peaceful way, a revolution in which voters have the power to choose the fate of a political party and the election of a candidate, it can guarantee a peaceful revolution. But if it can, or disruption is necessarily inevitable, because Nigeria must move forward. Nigeria must be equal to the rest of the world. The United States, China, Russia, Germany, etc., they fought and became what they are today. They just didn't sit there and fooled themselves and hoped for the best. Thank you for listening to this news. Thank you so much, Sir Balarabe Musa. You've always been by the side of the truth. I believe and concur with your assertion, and to me, I think that is the best. You see, since the different regions has refused to agree with each other, due to power and all of that, I think the best is for the country to be divided. You see, you are the only person from this particular side of the region that is actually facing the reality, but the rest are still still remain biased. You understand? So, whether like Nigeria likes it or not, what's your opinion? To me, is the best. and is what should be done for peace to reign.